Okay.
But I'll stay with you as long as I can, and I'm going to mute now.
All right.
So.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
All right. I'm going to call the meeting to order, and we do have a quorum present. Additions to the agenda. I talked with John, and we've got DuPont under Ag Cost Share, discuss DuPont. We've got the DEQ drill loan, which needs to be talked about. And he said a new printer for the office. So we'll cover that under whoever wants to cover. And does anybody else have any agenda items?
No.
Okay, let's continue then.
Rick, just one item under dams. I want to talk about Lofton Lake.
All right. And we'll add that to your report and dams. Okay, Otis?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, then we'll start down the agenda. We need approval of the minutes. The floor is open.
Wait. You got to do your electronic meeting first.
Yeah.
No. I'm not going to do it.
And just remember, you all need to take a roll call vote. So make sure you are unmuted for that part.
I was trying to figure out a way how to skirt around that. Could I just ask for those opposed and then automatically all the rest agree?
As far as we know, the Attorney General's office wants a yay or nay from each member.
It's a good thing we got right.
Tell him I said nay. All right, let's do a roll call. DeBose?
Yes.
Otis?
Yes.
Bobby?
Yeah, here, sorry.
All right, good. That's okay. Wendy?
Yes.
And then Buzz. Is Buzz unmuted?
Let me see.
Muted? Okay.
It's not letting me unmute him from my end, but it says he is muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
I can hear you now.
There you
Okay.
All right. All right. So we've got everybody accounted for. Now can we have a motion on the minutes?
Did you have a motion on the electronic meeting?
Oh,
I make a motion that we have an electronic meeting according to the guidelines of the Attorney General.
I second.
all right. Let's go down the roll call again. DeBose?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Otis?
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Wendy?
Yes.
And Buzz?
Yes.
Okay. Then we are going to meet electronically. Now can we get to the minutes?
Now you're good.
Great. Now
There you
we're
go.
legal. All right, the floor is open for the minutes.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes as submitted.
I'll second that.
And that'll be June 16th.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, motion is second. Now I'm going to change the order of calling out your name to keep you on your toes, okay? Buzz?
Yes.
Wendy?
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Otis?
Yes.
And DeBose?
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report, there's not a lot to it. We were at the end of the year, so things looked fine. I have nothing to add, so I'll just make a motion that we approve the treasurer's report for audit as for the period ending June 30th, 2020.
Okay,
I'll
do we have a
second that.
second?
I'll
All
second
right,
that.
motion and second. All right, we'll take a roll call vote. DeBose,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes.
Wendy,
Yes.
and Buzz.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Budget versus actual. Wendy, any comments?
No real comments. There's nothing that really kind of stands out. So I think we were pretty much on target. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Just remember red is good on that, right?
I know it's always hard for me to. I have to remind myself every single time.
I know. Red is good. All right, so we'll accept that as presented. Agency reports. Who's on board?
Mark should be here.
I'm here. Can you
Yep.
hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Wow, this technology is amazing. And
Hi,
Rick,
Buzz.
your ability to handle it is impressive as well.
Just keep on pouring it on. Just go ahead and report, buddy.
Okay, I presume you all have a copy of my written report. The first item has to do with attachment E and year-end reporting, and I want to thank your staff for putting all that material together for me. I've already reviewed it and we're sailing along, so I thank you very much for that. The first reminder there is something about some board action that may be necessary at an upcoming board meeting. That is to take action to dedicate for specific purposes any amount above 6 months of routine operating funds, call them undesignated reserve funds. And now that the books are closed for FY20, Wendy, maybe that's something you'll need to consider for a future meeting. There is a reference on page 14 of the desktop procedures.
Okay.
The next reminder has to do with something that's been in the cost share manual for a number of years, and in light of the upcoming cover crop sign-up season, if you will, I want to remind directors and staff that BMPs initiated prior to submitting cost share tax credit applications are not eligible. Once in a blue moon, we get a little bit hung up particularly with a routine cover crop applicant. Sometimes they'll come in after the fact and say, hey, I got my cover crop in, let me sign up. And that would be backwards. And then under miscellaneous, I certainly encourage the district to continue on with the Clean Water Farm Awards program and be thinking about your local winners. At this moment, due to budgetary constraints, DCR is not planning on printing signs. Perhaps, though, the budget will be able to handle that depending on the outcome of the General Assembly special session. I don't mean to imply that they're having the General Assembly session solely to consider Clean Water Farm Award signs, but if our DCR budget is for the year is actually a little stronger than we think, we might be bold enough to go ahead and print signs. But hang tight on that. I do hope you all will consider recognizing local winners for 2020.
Mark, what are the costs of those signs?
The economy of scale matters, but if you order a whole bunch, it might be on the order of $25.
Each?
Yeah, otherwise maybe $40. Our state parks folks produce these for us. And there's been a lot of banter back and forth about, well, maybe districts could place an order with DCR and then pay for all of the signs that your district wants. But at this point, we're just hanging tight and somewhat hopeful that perhaps there'll be monies for us to print signs. And maybe we ought not to put a date on the signs such that we can buy a whole batch and just hand them out year to year.
Whatever you decide, Mark, I'll underwrite the 2 signs for the district.
Well, we would want that in.
You'll want that in writing, I'm sure.
All right.
Well, it's,
And a little blood.
well, I know Shenandoah Valley signs as well, so we'll see. Just hang tight on that.
Okay. At least it's not, that's not too pricey in my mind. So,
Oh no, it's not a budget breaker,
yeah.
but it's just something that we just have no ability for any kind of discretionary funding at the moment.
Gotcha.
Let's see, there is, as of July 1, a change in FOIA code that requires elected directors to take, locally elected directors to take FOIA training every other year as provided by the FOIA Council or your local government attorney. This is akin to the COIA, Conflict of Interest Act training change that occurred a year ago. So I will put a blurb in my upcoming August report with some more details, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. There was a code change. And along the same line, the FOIA officer training, which has been an annual requirement, is now every other year requirement. So I'll put some more details in the my August written report to the districts. And as far as the training for elected directors, that would be something that would need to be done by the end of the year. More on that later. Many of you may know that the Ag BMP Technical Advisory Committee activities, as scheduled with a series of in-person meetings, has been nixed. Ruling from our Attorney General's office is that we are incapable of meeting the public meeting requirements even during this state of emergency. So we had scheduled a series of meetings and forget about it for now. However, there is one item of TAC business that was mandated by the General Assembly, and that is the item dealing with development of a portable fencing BMP for inclusion in next year's cost share manual. So we will work on a straw dog, if you will, in-house, and then assemble the Stream Protection and Forestry Subcommittee for an electronic meeting within the next month or so. Then following that, the entire TAC will get together electronically to consider the matter, and so it goes. So, it is with mixed emotions that I tell you all of that, but I must say I won't miss a whole series of in-person meetings and the travel that goes along with it. At any rate, it's an unusual year, and that's one of the outcomes. The current new FY21 cost share manual is available online. I can also get it to anybody interested in a PDF form. I think your district staff has access to both the online link as well as the PDF version, but if any director in particular wants it, shoot me an email or shoot your staff an email, get it to you. Similarly, the desktop procedures is available electronically. I do have a written copy, a hard copy of the new cost share manual and the new desktop procedures, but I just simply haven't gotten them out to your office. And then finally, I do want to thank the district for achieving a high utilization of its FY20 allocation. Y'all hit about 99% of your FY20 allocation was obligated. Of course, that we recognize that a little over $1 million of the allocation was transferred out to other districts. Still, it was over a $3 million program, which is probably a record for the district. I think that's a safe assumption. But at any rate, I thank you all for the work accomplished in that regard, and it will be certainly reflected in my assessment that I might be able to get to. Yeah, I'll probably schedule that for your August board meeting. Is to say, present the FY20 assessment of the operating grant as well as the cost share and technical assistance grant. Thank you. That's it.
Okay. Are you, is that all you need, Mark?
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll wait with bated breath for the August meeting.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, good deal. Any questions or comments to Mark?
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bobby, you want to talk to us?
Sure, thank you. Lately we've been just completing contracting for both the EQIP program and the CSP program, so that's been taking up most of our time. We've got a pretty good year as far as projects. There's not a whole lot of projects, but I think we have a lot of good projects. So we'll see what the year lies. As we progress through it, a lot of good CSP potential projects as well. And I've been making field visits and already starting to plan for next year's program as well. So that's about all I can report at this time.
Okay, thank you, Bobby. Any questions or comments? All right, we'll move on. I don't think Matt's available to us today, but I do keep in touch with him through his emails, and he's busy. I don't think Patty, Mary, did Leslie make it on board?
I do not have her attending now.
Okay, well, if she comes in, we'll make room for her when she does. On down, DEQ, we have a printed report, and I have some questions on that, but I can call her. I just thought it was interesting. They're talking about cell carbon allowances. I want to know where those allowances are coming from. I think I know, but I want them to tell me. And I knew we sold, people paid to put a lot of their waste in our landfills, and it's increasing. So it's interesting. Were my two comments. Game and Inland, Sam's not with us. And Dave, are you still here?
Rick, it's not Game and Inland anymore.
No.
What is it?
Department of Wildlife
Resources.
Yeah.
Resources, yeah.
Wildlife Resources?
DWR, Department of Wildlife Resources.
Okay. Well, I'll find out when I get my fishing permit next year, I reckon. But thank you, Otis. Dave, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here, and I'll bow out as soon as I finish up here, which is going to be very shortly.
Okay.
Not much new to report. We have facilitated a fishing float actually last weekend, and that's different than sponsoring it. A technicality due to the CDC requirements, et cetera. So the only other thing that's coming up on our agenda for the summer is in August, where we'll have our annual Middle River cleanup, which I'm organizing, and we'll tell you more about that at the next meeting. But it's probably, it's pretty much goes without saying it's going to be a scaled back event this year because we have to socially distance, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like you mentioned earlier, it's a strange year. So we're gonna do what we can to get debris and tires, et cetera, out of the river. And that's really all I have. That's all I have for now. And I'm going to bow out unless they have any questions.
Okay, hearing none. Good luck with your contractors, Dave.
Okay, I probably need it.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
All right, let's
Thank you
start
all.
with district reports. Otis?
Okay, Hearthstone, it's back to the normal pool now. They're trying to get a good stand of grass on the part that was ripped up. Annual dam mowing, Michael's out there cutting grass now. Mark Sims is actually doing the cutting, but I'm not sure how much longer Mark's going to be able to do it. This might even be his last year. We need to look at alternatives. I'm still trying to get some information on a remote mower. So somebody doesn't have to sit on that tractor sideways. But I'm having difficulty getting the people to reply back to me. So we'll see.
Hey, Otis, on that subject, somebody told me that VDOT had one of the remote mowers they were using on some of their banks. So we may have a source to look at.
The ones that are available here in the States are pretty small. 48 inch cuts maximum. The one I've been looking at is an 8 foot, which is what we have now. Well, it's a 3-gang mower, 2 in the back and 1 in the front. But like I said, I've been having difficulty getting them to reply to me because as far as I can figure out, there's only one distributor in the U.S. It's a German-made thing.
Okay.
And they've got one that will do a 75-degree slope, but it's only a 40-inch cut. So you can imagine how long it will take to mow just one day. H Branch, the mid-level deep project, the bid opening was last Friday. There were 2 bids, and Michael sent those to Richmond for evaluation. The spraying on the South River dams has been completed. Lawson Lake, Bill Hosrath's request before the Board of Zoning Appeals was approved without our recommendations. And the problem there was both Nancy Sorrells and Doug Wolf spoke about the project, but neither one said yay or nay. Apparently, with Doug's case, the portion that would be below the top of the dam would have flood vents on it, so water would go. The house that he wants to build, the main floor is 1 foot above the top of the dam. However, the crawl space under it, and it's pretty deep apparently, is in the floodplain. The lawyer basically said that he didn't think, without doing some more research, that the board had the authority to request or approve the 2 items that we requested. So they went ahead and approved it. And that's all I've got, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, very good. You broke up on
Otis,
me
I
a
have a
little
question.
bit. Go
Otis, I
ahead.
have a question. Why is
Go-
Mark giving up mowing?
Age.
All right. That's a good reason. That's why I gave it
Better
up.
all the time.
Yeah, I know some other guys that can do that work. And so when he makes a decision, we've got some other avenues to work, maybe, if they're not gonna get too old on us.
Okay, I'm still going to pursue
Okay,
the remote mower, but that's apparently down the road the way it looks.
okay. Very good. All right, any questions, comments to Otis? All right, let's move on. Wendy.
Okay, so first item is the designated funds report. Y'all should all have gotten that. Bottom line is that with the designated funds and the undesignated funds, the cash balance, we are at less than 6-month operating expense, which is what we want to have. Some of the estimated costs for that undesignated funds is some of the temporary part-time training assistants. So this will be, since we don't have Kathy in the office anymore, and Rhonda is new. So with this, Rhonda will, anybody would need a lot of help. And of course, Kathy brings all these years of experience. So we want to bring her back and plan to do so after she's given the okay to do that, which is a month after she has left. So in August, mid-August, she can come back and actually be working with Rhonda to help train her some more on all the specifics of the job that Rhonda's not able to really pick up on her own, which would be difficult in the meantime. So we've got monies in there for that, negotiated salary. The mobile education unit, I'm trying to think of what that's for. The storage building, I know that as far as building something to house the mobile education unit and other equipment items. So these are some of the things that we have under the undesignated funds. So that's about all I can say about it. Usually I have Kathy help me with this. And Judy, I don't know if you want to jump in with anything at all either. So we look, in my mind, we did really well this year, I think, and like Mark was saying, we did really well as far as the obligated funds. I thought that was great. Really wonderful job that the staff did. So that helps put us in a good position.
So Wendy, the 4 items, temporary part-time training assistance, negotiated salary, mobile education unit, and storage building are what allows you to get to the no more than 6 months excess
Right.
undesignated operating funds. So these 4 items are what then would require a board approval.
Okay. So then we need to make a motion to approve those items.
Right.
Correct. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So I would like to make a motion then that we approve for expense from undesignated funds the 4 items listed. I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Everybody on board? We'll proceed to vote. Say yes. DeBose.
Yes.
Otis.
Yes.
Bobby.
Yes.
Wendy.
Yes.
And Buzz.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, Wendy, on that one.
Okay. Bank signature cards, changes will be because Kathy has left and Rhonda is starting. So we'll have to redo the bank signature cards and get those going. I think they are underway as far as the whole process for that. So I don't know if Kathy or Rhonda are actually, I think they were muted, but anyway, so I know that's in progress. So, and that will be done as quickly as possible to be able to do certain payments. That's all I have on that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, you want to go to personnel then?
Okay. So we'd like to welcome Rhonda Klein, who's joining us. She's been with Augusta County. She started yesterday and she's jumping right in. I did not get it. I haven't been haven't had a chance to go by and say hello and stuff, but we're delighted that she's with us. We had actually a pretty good pool of applicants, and we had 5 that we interviewed, and anyway, we're delighted that she's with us, that she could get in there quickly. I think she did 2 weeks notice, and she has a lot to learn. So I know that all of us will do our part, help in any way we can. But I think Kathy will be, and Kathy and the rest of the staff, of course, will be able to fill her in on lots of things. But Kathy's, when she comes back to help train, will be a wonderful help. So,
Wendy?
Yes. Hey.
This is Kathy. I just wanted to let you know that Rhonda and I are here, and she's taking minutes. And
Good.
I'm just here for support today. And I just wanted to thank everybody that helped to make that video, and I will cherish it always. And that was just the greatest thing. And so thank you so much. But I just wanted you to know that Rhonda and I are here. We just aren't showing up.
Yes, you had some of the best pools of beautiful faces and stuff that you could want. So I'm sure you will cherish that.
I really will.
So good. I'm glad. Yeah, that note taking is not easy. I know. Okay. So we've got Josh Walker has left as of, I guess, the 10th of July. He's gone up to Shenandoah Valley. We will miss him. So we're down another person, and I'll skip therefore to.
Well, Wendy,
Yes.
we need to go ahead and advertise for one, two, or probably both conservation positions.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I know we do. We need to fill these in quickly. I know we definitely need one. Yes, probably 2. There'll be I think part of what we're trying to balance here is we've got a survey, which is listed on the agenda, the staff survey, which is out. And I think Rick said that person that he's been in contact with as far as an HR person has received survey results, and these will be compiled and done in a way to where we're not seeing them firsthand, and therefore making judgments maybe about who's saying what. We're trying to get a good feel from the staff as far as the needs and where we might want to make some changes. I do know that as John would say, we need boots on the ground desperately. So I guess the thing would be then we can either get the personnel committee together and decide on, as far as meeting, just deciding on some structural things. But I think Rick said we wouldn't probably have the survey results back until beginning of next week. I don't know if we want to look at those first, or if we want to go ahead and put out just the general description for a conservation technician, if we, and then as we get the applications in, knowing more exactly as far as what we really want in that conservation technician as far as experience and or whatever, we can, you know, fine tune that as we see the applicants, whether we get 10 of them or 100. So I don't know what the consensus might be with that. Any thoughts?
This is Judy. I would suggest we wait until the survey results are completed and we can review them with John and then make a decision on filling the positions.
Or let's, as soon as the survey results come back, which is going to be next week or so, maybe get the personnel committee back together.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Is if we knew when those survey results would actually be done, Rick, then maybe right as that happens, we can sit down. If we got the personnel committee together, we could sit down and actually have a have a meeting and discuss that and look at how we want to move forward.
Wendy, this is Mark.
Yeah.
Was there an exit interview with Josh? I imagine these people that are leaving Headwaters.
Yes.
A lot
Yes.
to reveal.
Judy?
Yes.
Good.
Exit interviews have been held with everybody from Kayla all the way through, and I have one with Kathy later this week, and they will all be completed.
Very good.
And I will comment that everyone participated in the survey, and it will be compiled, put in a form that will be presented to the personnel committee and then to the board. And that will be done before, or it will be presented probably at the next board meeting, but it will not be any longer than that. So we're on a timetable to get that done in the next probably 2 weeks.
Is there, Rick, do you think there's any way in the world that we can, that the personnel committee can get that, the compiled information next week?
She's on vacation this week. She said she will, yeah. And so yes, the first of next week, she's planning on putting it in a form. And so I'll be in touch with her when she gets back Monday. And okay. She knows we're ready for it, and we'll go with that. Okay, so maybe the personnel committee can get together Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. Let's say Wednesday, and maybe that gives her a day extra or something, and hope that we have something from her. Yeah, barring any unforeseen things, that's right. Correct. Okay. Should we wait until we get the results before we set the meeting so we're not preemptive? Sure. We could, yes. I mean, I'd hate to meet and not have the results. Maybe I'll send out an email and see just generally over the next 2 weeks if people's availability, and so that we're kind of ready to pick a time, day as soon as we hear something. Sure. I'm available anytime in the next 2 weeks.
Just need to have proper notification of that meeting.
Right. What is that, Mark? Right. 3 days or 2 days?
Right.
Or what?
Yeah, 3 days, 3 business days.
3 business days. Okay. All right. And also just, so that's as far as the staff survey information. Employee evaluations were held on the 26th. That really was, it was very good. We had a lot of discussion back and forth and feedback. So that helps the personnel committee as far as looking at staffing, just in general. So with the comments and with the survey and such, and knowing that we need a position filled, they'll help us jump in there just as quickly as we can. We'll get the survey information back, and then hopefully within even like a day, you know, get a posted job description, a job out there, or 2 jobs. So that's really all I have at this point. If anybody has any questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Wendy. We will continue on. Jim's not here for education, is he?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, he was here
Oh,
earlier.
Jim.
Look up on
Hi,
the top.
Jim.
Look up, Rick. There you go.
Go ahead. Hi, Jim. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I tuned in early on. Always spool up early because I never saw any program updated more than Zoom chooses to do. So you always take some time getting that done. Well, I'm actually going to turn over most of the report to Rachel. She's been Zoomed and virtualized and conferenced and electronically included in just about everything that's been going on with education. I think one of the highlights is we did conference up and reached a decision not to participate in the fair with the underground classroom for a whole variety of COVID-related reasons, and all for naught in that they canceled the fair. So that's probably not news to you folks, but
Right.
I think, you know, from a public health perspective, that was a good idea. So with that, I will turn over Rachel to Rachel to update you on what she's been involved in and what might be in our future. Rachel?
Thanks, Jim. So far, under the underground classroom, we still are planning. As far as I know, they still want us for Rockingham County Fair. Last I heard, that fair is still ongoing. I have not seen official documentation that that fair has been canceled, but it doesn't sound too promising to me. We also now are starting to get interest again in the classroom. I have received requests to attend the ribbon cutting of the Weir's Cave Library in September. So pending post-quarantine and all of that stuff, they're planning to do an outdoor kind of social distanced festival, in September. So that right now is our next event with the trailer, unless the fair, Rockingham County Fair, still occurs. With the trailer, actually, yesterday, other districts might be starting to have time, at least education-wise, time on their hands. I actually received a phone call from Three Rivers Soil and Water Conservation District. They are toying with the idea of creating one, so they had reached out to me with any tips of the trade, advice. They really liked how ours was set up. Our video keeps getting views on YouTube, which is great. So it seems like we might be starting to see more of this trailer idea of education by more districts show up. Under the Area 1 Zoom meeting, Area 1 staff met with association staff last week. They wanted to kind of get together and see what each school districts plan to do. How is education and outreach going to look for districts? I can share, if you have not heard, that our 3 school districts right now are set to start August 18th, but that would be a kind of an A-B day schedule with students in school either on A days or B days, and then having 1 day off a week where everybody is remote learning. And then parents and guardians still have the opportunity to sign their children up for 100% remote learning if they are uncomfortable sending their child to school. As that currently stands, third-party people like me are not going to be allowed in schools currently. They're not taking field trips. Extracurricular activities are up to each school district to decide. So I have not heard if Envirothon will be able to, clubs, Fort Defiance, Stewart's Draft are going to be able to meet yet. I haven't heard from those teachers. As far as where we'll go from there, we will see. I know teachers, I told them I would be up in the air to help any way I can with Zoom. But also staff here also knows that I'm starting to take on more technical B&P stuff because education is, we're slow moving on that front. So trying to pitch in on that part where I can. National Ag in the Classroom, there was supposed to be an in-person training for that. It moved online, which I appreciated because I was not going to travel to Utah for that. And I actually got to participate in it. So got some new resources specifically for some of our ag literacy activities that we do. Strategic planning training, there was the association sponsored a strategic planning virtual training with the Cooperative Extension. We will be receiving a $50 reimbursement scholarship from the Association Education Foundation to cover my cost for that. That is because I believe, and Kathy had mentioned this before she retired, that our strategic plan is up to be redone this fall, our 4-year strategic plan. So with this, I received some planning documents on how to facilitate stakeholder meetings and kind of worksheets to go through the strategic planning process. So those will probably come in handy as we approach that the coming months. And then VCAP, Rick, let's add that under urban conservation because that's not really related to education. And then
Right.
that part is finished for me unless there's any questions.
Okay, Rachel, thank you. And Jim?
Let me just have a moment. I did hear this fair was suspended on radio, but looked at the website just now, and the Augusta County Fair Board has voted to suspend the 2020 county fair. So I read it on the internet too.
Oh my.
Must be true.
Well, then it must be something to it. Okay.
Absolutely. But the 26th annual Miss Augusta County Fair pageant will still be held on Saturday at the Virginia School for the Deaf and Blind at 2 p.m. If you have a spare moment, you can participate in that virtually. Y'all stay well, and thanks for your time. Turn it over to you, Mr.
Likewise.
Chairman.
Thank you, Jim. Very well done. Okay. No other questions to either one of those two. Let's move on. Bobby, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think Rachel is going to be bringing up the list of approvals. There you go. Not too many this time, but that's to be expected with the staff turnover. Let's see. Names have been removed, but let's just start at the top with the B&Ps. I'll make the motion that we approve the one SL8H.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion a second. Ready to vote? DeBose? Otis? Where'd Otis go?
Excuse me, I had Mike unmuted. Yes.
Oh, okay. Bobby?
Yes.
Wendy?
Aye.
And Buzz?
Yes.
Approved. You're next, Bobby.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next up is 2 appeals, one for a WP4 to raise the square footage from 3,130 square feet to 3,200 square feet, and another one to raise the concrete area in front of the compost unit from 768 to 900 square feet. I'll make the motion that we approve these 2 appeals.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, ready to vote? DeBose?
Yes.
Otis?
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Wendy?
Yes.
And Buzz?
Yes.
Approved.
Rachel, are we going to move this VCAP down to urban conservation as well?
We can, or if, since the list is up, we can. In the past, I think we've approved straight through. So if you want to keep going, Bobby, that's fine.
All right, we'll just go ahead. I'll make the motion that we approve this VCAP for a mulch bed.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, ready to vote. DeBose,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes.
Wendy,
Yes.
and Buzz.
Yes.
Okay, approved.
Next up are conservation plans. We have two. Make the motion that we approve the conservation plans as listed.
I'll second that.
Okay, ready to vote. Buzz,
Yes.
Wendy,
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
and DeBose.
Yes.
Keep going.
Approved.
Yeah.
We have had two nutrient management plans come in. Make the motion that we approve the two nutrient management plans.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, ready to vote. Buzz,
Yes.
Wendy,
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
and DeBose.
Yes.
Approved.
Tax credit certificates. We have 6 of them. Any questions on tax credit certificates? Okay, I make the motion that we approve the tax credits.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, ready to vote. DeBose,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes.
Wendy,
Yes.
and Buzz.
Yes.
Okay, approved. Thank you, Bobby. What's
Yeah.
next?
Next up on the agenda is the DEQ drill loan application. John or Aaron, did you have something to tell us about that?
Try now, John. I just unmuted you.
Okay, this is John. So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, John.
Okay, yes, we had put in a loan back when they thought that districts could get loans, and they were going to forgive half of it, which made it a pretty good deal for the district to get a no-till drill. Since then, they found out that basically districts aren't supposed to be getting loans. Second thing, I don't think there's going to be the loan forgiveness again. We don't have the staff to handle it. DEQ wanted to know what we were going to do, and I think that the district should officially withdraw their application.
Can we just take a consensus on that? Is there any disagreement to that? Okay, if not, withdraw.
Okay, that's all I have for ag and cost share.
All right, now,
I have one more thing about the DuPont.
Yeah, go ahead.
The DuPont trustees have offered us an additional $400,000. This was something that before our last staff resignation, we were going to move forward with, and I feel like we still should. I think okay, the resolution is up there from DuPont. If we can get the amendment up, or the attachment, I think they call it the attachment. You'll notice in there that there's, if we scroll down to other practice types that may be eligible, it gives us a lot of flexibility with this money, and we can raise the SL7 in these specific watersheds from 75% to 90%, and also the stream bank stabilization from 75 to 90%. But in cases, previously, we were not allowed to use the crossings and some of those things in some of these practices paid for by DuPont without special permission. Now that they are doing that, and not only that, they're raising the cost share. The SL6N would be 95% for a 25-foot buffer, 85% for 65. The WP practices that allow us to have that crossing would be 80%. So it gives us more flexibility and more cost share. And in reviewing our prospective client list, there's a couple of practices that would really fit into this program, and this may be the only way that they would move forward. So I would like for you to go ahead and give us permission to continue to seek the 400,000 and with the agreements with the trustees.
So I have a couple questions. How much time commitment does this involve? How much involvement period as far as the district, and looking as far as is there a if we go ahead with this, do we have a commitment, certain things being done by a certain year?
Yes, we do have to have, all these projects have to be completed by November 2021, and we're supposed to actually have the money obligated, I believe, by this November. Looking here in the attachment, that was what we discussed. Yes, yeah, we're supposed to have it obligated by November 1st of 2020, and then the project's completed by November 1st of 2021.
But John, it really doesn't take much more staff time, correct? Just because we can add it on to existing projects?
That's correct. There's more staff time because we have to keep another set of reports going back and forth to the trustees, but that's to serve some of these clients that otherwise would not move forward. I think that's worthwhile.
Well, Rhonda's going to do that anyway, isn't she, John? I'm just teasing Rhonda.
Don't tease her too early, Rick.
Yeah. Good point. Point well taken. I think just ask for board consent because this is nothing we haven't done. We're just continuing with the program unless y'all think we need a motion.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to have a motion. I don't know.
You make it, Wendy. I'll second it.
Okay. I make a motion that we accept this. Let's see. Taking on the project, the DuPont project, to improve the water quality and fish habitat as submitted.
With the additional 400,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Ready to vote. Buzz.
Yes.
Wendy.
Yes.
Bobby.
Yes.
Otis.
Yes.
And DeBose.
Yes.
Motion carries. That take care of it, John?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Bobby, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
May I add in one cost share related item? This is Mark.
Okay, Mark.
Okay. Last month, I think it was, I mentioned to you all about a direct pay program for private nutrient management plan writers. Your staff caught wind of this in the June cost share update webinars. And I've talked to Dave Kindig a few weeks ago. Dave is our nutrient management planning certification guru in Richmond and is the driver of this direct pay program, where in private plan writers get paid directly from Richmond, the nutrient management plan writing BMP can be handled through this and thus relieve any burden on your cost share allocation. That's just a little bit of background and reminder. What I got from Dave a few weeks back was a poop sheet, county by county, of the ag acres that are currently, well, as of November of 2019, currently under a nutrient management plan. And the Bay WIP goal is to get 85% of our ag acres under a nutrient management plan. And I'll just throw out the number from November of 19 for Augusta County is 41%. So we got a long, long way to go to meet the Bay WIP watershed improvement plan goal, which is an ambitious goal, but I just want to inject that notion that the state, to meet its obligations, does need a whole lot more acres under nutrient management planning. And so I just urge staff and directors to pitch the notion that a nutrient management plan can be obtained at no charge, obviously through a DCR planner or through this direct pay program. So I just this morning sent an updated direct pay program guidance that I got from Dave. Same thing as what was distributed back in June, but Dave has gotten a few more private plan writers into the system. So there are some options for farmers to get nutrient management plans through the private sector. So just wanted to inject that little reminder. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Rick, I have one more thing I'd just like to bring to the attention of the directors.
Yes, John, go ahead.
We should have the first Trout Unlimited Partnership project nearing completion by the end of this week. We are getting assignment of payments forms filled out and signed by the landowner, the district, and Trout Unlimited. And I just wanted to let y'all know an update on that.
All right. Is there any kind of publicity going to come with that, John?
Maybe eventually.
Yeah, I mean, is Trout Unlimited going to take care of that side of it?
I think so, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't really talked to Sammy about that, but if we can get some publicity, that would be good. We got to move forward kind of carefully because we want to see how the money's coming out with this agreement. We were hoping to be very successful and could expand on it, but we want to be careful getting the word out before we know that this is working out the way we had hoped it would be.
Right. Okay. I understand that. All right, but that sounds good. Where is this project, John?
Craigsville.
Okay, good deal.
They'll be moving over to Deerfield Valley next week, is the plan anyway.
What's your evaluation of how it's finishing up?
The contracting is so much easier because they can do a turnkey job. I'm not sure that Trout Unlimited is going to come out whole on this, or whether they're going to have a lot of money out of pocket. So we'll see. The first project was a tremendous amount of rock. They had to haul in bedding rock or bedding sand to put in the pipeline. It's a gravity system. It has to maintain grade. Tremendous amount of rock to dig out. Tremendous amount of rock to put posts into. If they didn't have the hydraulic jackhammer type of driver, I don't think they'd have gotten the post in the ground. So hopefully when they get to the next site, it's going to be rocky as well, but not near as obvious a rock as there was on the first site. So I'm hoping that they can move along a little bit faster on the second site. But that's why I'm a little reluctant to get out there with too much publicity. We don't want a lot of people signed up until we know that this is going to work out for all the partners.
Right. Okay, good deal. Okay, the resource management plan, I haven't heard anything moving there. Unless anybody has something, we'll move on. Charlie Huppick is not here. Oh, excuse me, DeBose, I skipped right over you, buddy. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I've contacted the local planner and in that area, and she has not contacted me back, but I'm trying to get on top of it now, and I'm on the agenda.
Okay. Very good. Now, the VCAP that was moved from the education down, is that just recognition of that being, I mean, there's no certain instance to recall?
No, I would just say you can tell that homeowners are now home with not too much to do, because attention and interest is, I keep getting lots of emails and interest in the program. A few site visits have materialized, but also I would say, I guess for Waynesboro residents, I just know this, there is a public comment period coming out about the new plan for around Constitution Park. They're going to be doing some new new wildlife habitat areas and redoing some of the way that the Constitution Park looks along South River. If anyone's interested, it's on the Waynesboro website.
You can go to Parks and Recreation, and there's a video on it. It may be under Facebook, but there's a video that you can look at to see what they're going to do, proposing.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be tearing up the old DuPont parking lot, which that's a good thing.
Okay. Well, Waynesboro leads on. All right, let's move on. Forestry, riparian buffer, easements is all Charlie. Does anybody have any information on any of those? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on. Charles Horn's not here. Anybody have some land use information? Okay. Other business, reopening plan. Who is going to take that on?
I guess I will. I think why that is on there is because we're trying to evaluate where to go. We were moving forward with our plan, and then we had a positive case among an employee that set us all back. Also affected the other two related agencies in the building. So what we've done is try to reevaluate where we are, how many people we can have in the office. Wendy has come in to use her skills from Merck to come in and evaluate the office. So what we plan on doing is reassigning some office space, rearrange the file storage, probably purchase a printer for across the hall to stop traffic coming across the public area. And, or we might talk to Xerox because they're getting ready to renew our lease anyway. I found that out yesterday. They have to replace our machine because we'll get a next generation machine with all the security patches on it that's necessary after having this one for a couple of years. And we'll probably do far less remote working going forward. Immediately after the positive, I thought we was going to drop back and have fewer people in the office, but after reevaluating things, we have so much of a workload. If we can keep 2 people in the field most of the time, the other 3 can remain in the office and get the work done more efficiently than they can remotely. So that's kind of some of the stuff that we're looking at for trying to get back to, no, it was nothing normal anymore, but get back to something that's a little more efficient and where we can serve the client and turn around time a little bit better.
Hey, John, so have y'all discussed more as far as possibly moving those, for instance, the filing cabinets where Kayla had been into the area where Rachel is possibly?
Yes, we have, and I've contacted Advanced Telephone and Data last week. They're supposed to come sometime by the end of this week to transfer her phone line over, and Michael's back to his original location, and we'll get all that completed then. Right now, we have to get the phone lines switched back over.
Okay, and if I can find out from John, I think is it John Cook, who's with maintenance? I'm assuming you'll have a sprinkler system in that building, but I have my nifty little smoke generator that's just a tiny thing, but just in case it would set off the sprinkler, we can look at the airflow in the areas as far as people placement too, which would help. But I think yeah, it'd be nice to have people sort of spread out like that too. So maybe this week even or something, or by the beginning of next week, I can find out from John Cook if I need to disengage the sprinkler system temporarily for an hour or something, or if that has to be done with the fire department.
Do you want me to delay advanced telephone from coming in and change the phone lines until you do that, Tim?
No, I'd go ahead and do that because I think that's a good move. I think that's a good move, and I think that airflow that'll support that 100%. So I think that's a good idea. Period. And
I did ask, and the board did put an extra $4,000 in the budget to try to increase the efficiency of remote work. And what we may try to do is look at possibly setting up 2 of the vehicles basically so that we are more efficient when we're in the field. And so we can keep 2 people in the field. And again, that way, well, those that are in the office are spread out more. And we'll have the technicians out and about, making the contacts and doing the things that need to be done in support of all of our clients. So we'll see how it goes, but that's kind of what's going on in the reopening. We're just reevaluating everything, and then tomorrow we'll reevaluate it again, and then they'll make another announcement. We'll reevaluate it again. It's
a moving target, John.
Yeah. But I do appreciate Wendy's expertise because she brings to the board, you know, I forget how many years you said, 10 years of actually doing this at Burke and bringing it to us. So that's been really, really helpful.
Well, it's fun for me, but what was I thinking? Never mind. I was thinking something and it went out my head. So.
Well, we do appreciate your expertise, Wendy. However, I'm a little concerned about Merck. Are they really trying to keep us healthy? Hey, pills, right? Hey, just a thought.
They sell those pills.
I remember what I was going to say now. As far as
here we go.
The remote stuff, you know, we don't know. I mean, hopefully all this virus stuff, I mean, vaccine stuff looks like it's moving along amazingly, the speed of which is unprecedented. But we don't know. Some of the states are getting worse and worse and worse. Hopefully we will not be one of those that gets worse and worse and worse before we really get better, really. But you know, having the ability, making sure that we keep the ability to do a lot of remote work, I think will be really important for probably, you know, the next, you know, it could be the next year. So.
Okay, very good. Is there any other business to come before the meeting?
Hey, are we going to make Kathy an associate director?
I don't know.
She might not want to be. After 27 years.
We'll take that under advisement, talk about it in personnel.
Okay.
She's certainly welcome. She's certainly welcome to be. Rhonda, you have the floor. Would you like to address the board?
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
We can. Well, we could.
She pushed the wrong button.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
So my name is Rhonda Klein, and my first day was yesterday in the office. And I just want to thank you guys all for the opportunity and looking forward to working with you all.
We're just glad you're here today, Rhonda.
Yeah, we're
appreciate it.
tickled. And I was going to suggest to the board members, now would be a real good time to put in for your vacation travel, but Kathy's sitting next to her, so scratch at.
Yeah, Kathy's beside me, so we got to behave.
Yes, indeed. All right, hearing nothing else, I'm going to consider the meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Stay healthy.
Okay,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
you all too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.